how you're feeling. Hey guys, Darren from Off-Road TV and
Jake from Off-Road TV.
Same place. It's funny how you always say that, but anyway.
Well, it says on a t-shirt.
It does. Today we're just going to do a very quick video on power sources at camp and 3 different options that we use for power at camp, from basic power packs to battery box that I've got running my system to Jake's full built-in, all singing, all dancing, bells and whistles system.
Alright, so we'll start with the basic ones, right? So the whole idea really of any of these systems is just so you can use your devices when you're at camp or in the middle of nowhere, right? So these are really the simplest ones. This is probably by far the simplest. This is a simple power bank. You charge it off a USB port, you can charge it while you're driving in your car, and then you can just plug your phone or your speaker or whatever into that and use that in a camp or in a tent. These cost really anywhere from like $29 to, I don't know, $100 for some fancy ones with lights. But I think this even has a light, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh, fancy. Yeah, so this is, you know, an absolute must-have.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking. This one is a little bit more fancier. They come in various different shapes and sizes, but this is a power bank that can charge your devices, your phones, or even probably your laptops and stuff, because this one goes to 12 volts. And obviously this has a lot more juice than that one. But these ones you can also connect your jumper cables to, and you can actually jump start your car from that. So these are definitely good to have, because they are, I would still consider it as must-have, because you can always start your car from that wherever you are, and you can use it as a portable power source anywhere around the camp, in your tent or whatnot.
And that one was $150 from Amazon, so it's pretty good value.
Yeah, exactly. So I would consider this as one of these two. I would probably prefer one of these as really the basic sort of must-have. Anywhere I go a little bit remote, I'll take one of these.
Yeah.
Alright, now we'll have a look at sort of the next level, and that's Darren's battery box.
So this is the Engel battery box, which basically runs all my power requirements for the trailer. I've got a lithium battery inside the battery box. This is probably a premium type battery box because it has a built-in DC-DC charger, it has an inverter, so it's got a 300 watt inverter. A lot of them won't have that. But yeah, essentially I can power this from an Anderson whilst we're driving. At the moment it's plugged into solar, so when you stop you can basically plug your solar blanket in and that will charge the batteries. So always able to get power when I'm at camp, either from solar or when I'm driving. Like I said, I can plug in 240 volt into the inverter, and yeah, just got a couple of ports here for cigarettes and USBs and things like that, but that is essentially running the whole thing.
And so right now the trailer is just connected to the box, and all the trailer accessories run of that, right?
Correct, yeah. So we've got one connection there just running the trailer lights and all the rest of it, and then this one here is powering from the Anderson.
And I think that that's what before I had this system, this is what I had, right? And the one thing I really loved about this is that it's portable, right? Because you can unplug it from here and you can take it anywhere with you. You can take it, you know, around a camp, you can take it home. Because this thing you can run like fridge and stuff off, right?
Yeah, so I mean you can literally take your fridge out, take that battery box with you, and you can, like you say, you can walk down the beach and have your fridge with you. So it's super handy. It's light. I mean, with the lithium battery in it, that thing weighs about 15 kilograms, so it's easy to carry around.
Yeah.
You get battery boxes starting from $50 upwards, and you get
but then you obviously need to add the chargers and everything.
Yeah, they're much more basic. It's just a battery and then a couple of cigarette, like 12 volt sockets that go into them. But you know, anywhere from $50 upwards, really, the battery boxes start.
Yeah, and like, you know, if you guys are interested, you know, something like this with a good lithium battery with, you know, the little inverter in it to charge everything, it's probably gonna be somewhere around 1,000 to 1,500. But like Darren said, you can be, you know, anywhere less or more. Yeah. There's actually a cool story about these. When I had mine, we had a power outage in our house, and so what I did was I unplugged it from the car, took it to my house, because this has 350 watt inverter. I was able to plug lights, house lights into it, and like we were the only house in a suburb that actually had lights on.
It's awesome. Yeah,
so, yeah, it's awesome.
The other thing about the lithium battery is, so it's that's a 100 amp lithium battery, which I can pretty much discharge down to 10%. So, but with the AGM, you can only really go to 50.
Yeah.
So the lithium gives you a heap more charge, and it charges quicker, it lasts longer. So they are more expensive, but in the long run, they're definitely more.
I'll probably do a video on batteries separately, because that's a lengthy topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, as Aaron said, like lithiums are a little bit more expensive, but you just get so much more out of them.
Okay, so this is my setup. What have you got?
So mine is, we'll go have a look, but mine is basically based on that, right? So it's a system that has battery, has inverter, has a DC-DC charger, but it's a bigger system. It has 2 batteries, they're flat batteries, and they're built into the car. So we'll go have a look at the back of my car, and I'll show you how it looks like.
Okay, so God's sake, man, I'm trying to present here.
Sorry.
God,
just cleaning it again, cleaning it up.
Honestly, it's just, I don't know how long I can do this working with these amateurs.
Sorry.
It's all right. So here we are at the back of Jake's car, the Power Central coffee machine. This is like the deluxe setup. Take us away.
Yeah, so we're trying to do sort of must have, good to have, and nice to have, right? So this is definitely the nice to have setup. So what this has is it has 2 of these ultra slim batteries. They're each 100 amp hours, so it's 200 amp hours under the floor. They're nice hidden, tucked out of the way. They're charged through a DC-DC charger, so I can charge it from the car while I'm driving, or I can charge it from the solar. I can either put a solar panel on the roof or just use the blanket the same way as Darren does.
And these are super light and really, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not even, what is that?
I think they're 7 centimeters.
Yeah.
What is that? Less than 3 inches, 2.5 inches maybe thin. So you can kind of play around where you can hide them, right?
And cars like yours, like the Patrol, that have got this little kind of bit at the back, it's just perfect, isn't it, to sink them in there?
Yeah, exactly. So there actually was a tray where you can put a few things. So yeah, we just remove the tray, just put a battery there, and the second battery is under the 4th floor. So if you guys watched the video on how we build the drawer system and the 4th floor, you will see the space from the other side where the battery kind of sits in.
Yeah.
And so now the battery has the DC-DC charger, as I mentioned, and then there is a 2000 watt inverter that's kind of tucked in the corner, and I just have it runs here, so I can just plug anything to that. Usually I've got my coffee machine plugged into that. Now that's a bit of a people say that this takes too much power and will discharge your battery. Yes and no. This uses about 1500 watts when it's fully running, heating, frothing your milk or whatnot. So it does use a fair bit of power, but it only runs for maybe 2 minutes. So me to make 5 coffees costs me about 2% of my battery.
Yeah.
Which really doesn't cost much. And then I've got a little panel on the side here where I've got just 12 volt sockets and USB sockets.
And what else could you run off that inverter? Because I mean, 2000 watt inverter is...
Yeah, so that's actually interesting. I started looking at like other things that I could use here. Obviously I have this space here where I have my table.
Yep.
I'm thinking of putting something else there. Yeah, so the one thing I'm looking at now is actually Induction Cooktop. Again, we're talking about nice things to have, but
Nice to have, it's definitely nice to have.
look, if you are outside, like we're outside every single weekend, and so 2 days a week I cook pretty much in the bush somewhere. And as you all know, with a little gas stove, you have to hide from the wind.
Yeah.
If it's a little bit windy, it takes forever to cook. So I'm started thinking about using the induction cooking, but that'll probably be built in here. Another thing that you can run off it is microwave.
Oh wow.
So you can get small microwaves, and they cost like probably $59 or something.
Popcorn.
But you can make popcorn, you can make hot water in it or whatever. Again, right, they're similar to the coffee machine. They use a ton of power. Microwaves generally use 750 or 1000 watts.
Yeah.
But again, you're gonna use it for, I mean, even if you cook a meal, it's gonna take 5 minutes tops.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that'd be interesting. Otherwise, standard things like travel buddies, portable ovens and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
I run my heating blanket in a tent, so that's really good in winter. I run my compressor of that, so I don't have to have the car running when I'm inflating my tires. There's a spider trying to eat me.
Yeah.
Thank you for saving my life.
That's all right. Welcome anytime.
And it's just a normal thing in Australia.
Oh, you're just a way to die. Wait. Well, no, it's good.
Yeah,
He's not going to die.
Cool. Yeah, so I don't have to have the car running to inflate my tires. Again, to inflate all 4 of my tires at 35 inches from 10 psi to 50 psi uses about 4% of the whole battery system.
And you've got lights outside, and you've got the whole shebang running off this.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got lights on each side of the car and on the back of the car. They run off that as well. The fridge obviously runs off that. The fridge is 2 compartments. They can both be fridge or freezer, but generally I run one as a fridge, one as a freezer. And look, you can probably get away with 100 amps. And I rarely go below 50%, but you know, on longer trips it's definitely good to have the 200 amps.
Yeah, and that's where the solar comes in so handy, because I mean, I've plugged that in today and I've got, you know, it's your top back up again.
Yeah.
It just makes it so easy. The other thing was the induction hobs. When you said it, I was like, oh, fancy pants with this induction hob, but they're actually pretty cheap these days.
So you can get the portable ones, which are literally just the small ones that you can, you know, slide a piece of table and just pop it on it or kind of build it in. They're a couple $100. They're not actually that expensive. And obviously you can go like the fancy built-in ones at $1,000, but no, a couple $100.
Yeah, you can have an induction.
Yeah.
All right, so this is I mean, this is the nice to have. This is a great example of a camping setup and fully powered, and you've got everything you need. The tent's got power.
One thing I remember that we run off it is our Campfire. So if you're in places like we are in WA and there is fire restrictions, there is fire restrictions and you're not allowed to have campfires.
There's a fire restriction?
Fire restrictions.
Total fire ban. Sorry, did I put you off?
Fire restrictions.
Yes, you got it. Fire restrictions.
So in WA we have that.
Fire restrictions.
And so we can't have campfires. And you'll be surprised how an LED light bulb that imitates fire, how much it actually adds. Like,
yeah, we were sitting here last night, so we're by a lake at the moment and some trees around, and that thing was flickering off the trees in the lake like a proper fire. I thought when
real.
You first took it out, I was like, oh my god, seriously, what the... But it's actually all right. It's pretty good.
And then you're sitting and you're looking at it, and you imagine switching it off, and you're like, that'd be weird. We'll be just sitting here dark, staring at nothing,
drinking beer.
Yeah. So
singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Exactly. So around that. If you have watched our previous videos, you may have seen other things that we've ran of that, like a giant inflatable dinosaur and Santa.
Yeah. All these things are handy.
But yeah, so
cool. Well, honestly, mate, it's an awesome setup that you've got. But like we've said in this video, you can basically go from $50 up to, well, the sky's the limit, but always have some power with you for your favorite toys, and so you can just get a bit of light and a bit of cooking. And a lot of people are just running the dual battery system in the front, aren't they? So you've got it at the back, obviously, but a lot of people just do it in the bonnet.
Yeah, you can do that as well. I do have a second battery under the bonnet, and that sort of helps with, you know, running the lights with range and things like that. It's just a small, tiny battery. But yeah, you could do that. You could have just a second battery on the front, sort of similar setup. You know, have it wired into your USBs and whatnot. Have a DC-DC charger on that, but then also you can have it so it can link to your starter battery and help you start a car. Yeah. All right.
Okay, well guys, look, I hope that helped you a little bit. Just lets you see what we're doing and what we use and where we started. I guess we started with the power packs and we moved up.
Yep. And that's probably the important thing. Like, you know, don't go with your first 4B that you ever buy and build a system with everything you see on YouTube that everyone has. That's probably the biggest mistake you can do. Build up to it. You know, start with the simple, cheap things. See what works for you, what doesn't work for you.
I bet your card
just break my petrol.
It came off. Sorry. I'll fix it later. What's that bit for?
That releases the spare tire.
Okay.
There is no spare tire.
Sorry, I've interrupted you again.
What was I talking about?
Thinking about your system, you know, go out.
Oh yeah. So don't go out and just buy everything and kit it out with everything you see on YouTube, because you know, you build up to it the same way we've done. It's not that you have to take years and years to get to a system like this. It's start simple, go out and see what you're missing. Yeah. You know, you start. Okay, I would love to have shower. Well, maybe you can have a bag that you put water in and use that, or you can have, you know, electric shower heating. Yeah. You know, whatever you feel like you need, but everything that you put in your car, and it extends past electrical system. Everything you put in your car should be a result of your need, rather than something that you think you will need.
Yeah. So get out there, go camping, see what happens, see what you need, and then build from there.
All right.
Cool. All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
See you in the next one.